The people behind the deadly Easter bombings in Sri Lanka have all been arrested or killed. That's according to the country's acting police chief. 7 suicide bombers died when they detonated their devices at churches and hotels. 257 people were killed in those attacks, and more than 70 suspects have been arrested in the investigation.
Well, while those arrests are good news, nothing can, of course, fill the void for families who lost loved ones. And that includes Alexander Arrow, who lost his only child on Easter Sunday.
CBN's Eric Phillips sat down with him just 2 days after the funeral of his only child and joins us now. I can't imagine just how heartbreaking that must have been for him.
I can't imagine either. As a father, your heart has to go out to somebody who goes through something like this. And when I reached out to Alex Arrow, he agreed to talk to us for one reason, and really one reason only. It's because he wants the world to know about Kieran and how great he was.
It was the most difficult thing that I think a father can possibly do. And that was compounded by the fact that Kieran was the most amazing person that I've had the privilege to know.
By all accounts, the 11-and-a-half-year-old not only enjoyed life, but was also very advanced for his age, especially in math and science.
The things that an 11-and-a-half-year-old talks about are not usually these big grandiose goals, but his career ambition was to be a PhD neuroscientist. And that was because he figured out that that's how he could apply his talents to help other people in the most significant way.
Kieran attended Sidwell Friends, an exclusive private school in Washington, D.C., but he was studying abroad in Sri Lanka, staying with his mother and maternal grandparents.
About a year and a half ago, she thought that would be a good experience for him to spend a semester abroad, and I had to agree. I mean, it's an incredible cultural experience for a 10-year-old.
It worked out so well that he stayed an additional 2 semesters. On Easter Sunday, he and his family were having breakfast at the Cinnamon Grand Hotel when a suicide bomber attacked. While his mother and grandmother survived their injuries, Kieran did not. A piece of shrapnel piercing his heart. His father got the tragic call in the middle of the night. Alexander had seen his boy just weeks before when Kieran visited him in San Diego for spring break.
Last time I hugged him goodbye was when he went back to the airport to go back with his mom to Sri Lanka. I keep hearing his voice around every corner, keep expecting him to say, "Hi, Dad," and go on with one of his great questions. I still have that feeling that it's all a bad dream.
Alexander told us it's important for as many people as possible to know just how much was sacrificed in this senseless violence.
He's articulate, he's funny, his sense of humor, his altruism, his ingenuity, his love for others.
And he wants his son's dream of using his talents to help others to count for something.
I have wonderful memories, but I have a hole where all of the future memories were going to be. His teenage years that he won't have, his adult years that he won't have, his family that he won't have.
And during our conversation, I told Alexander Arrow that he seemed amazingly calm, and really composed about this whole deal, more so than I would ever be under these circumstances. And he assured me that he is really falling apart on the inside.
Yeah.
And I can also add that he told me to remind everyone to treasure their kids and their loved ones and to do it all in memory of Kieran.
Yeah, great
Touching
advice.
story.
Great story. Thanks, Eric.
Thank you.